How's it going, everyone? This is the week 5 and 6 update of building our Ryan home St. Lawrence, and as you can see, there is a lot to talk about because at this point, we now have a whole house. So the big thing that took place over the course of slightly less than the past couple of weeks, this footage was captured on Thursday, January 2nd, is the fact that framing is now essentially complete on the home. So of course the floor joists for both floors, the first floor, the second floor itself, the roof trusses, and in fact if you watched my previous week 4 construction update video, which I'll leave a link to above and in the description below that you can check out, you'll know that Ryan or NVR is able to complete framing in just a matter of days versus, say, the weeks it would take a typical custom home builder doing a conventional stick build. And in fact, those same framers are now working down the street on the next house to be delivered after ours, which is the Powell model I mentioned before in a previous update video. Our PM sent us an update video on December 30th, pretty much showing all of the progress that you're seeing here. The one exception to that being the fact that the roofers have come since then and have now, as you can see, put the shingles on the roof. You might notice these ridge vents on various points in the gables on the roof as well. As I include some exterior shots here from my drone, which, bear in mind, temperatures are now below freezing here, and we had wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour on this particular day, so couldn't really fly for too long and capture too much. But, of course, if you're wondering what some of the next steps are and the things that aren't complete on the exterior side, so exterior doors, be it the front door, the rear sliding door, garage doors, these all, of course, have to be delivered and installed. There are at least a few windows that you'll see that either are on back order or were damaged during the install process and need to be replaced. I believe one of the other things that's going to take place relatively soon is the pouring of the concrete front porch, which you'll notice in some of this B-roll that the forms have already been delivered to the job site for this. And then from here, we still have to have the house wrap applied before the siding and the stone water table can be installed. You have all of the trim, fascia boards, soffits, gutters, downspouts. So while we've made a ton of progress on the exterior in just a short amount of time, there is still a decent amount of work to go here. But we should now take a look at the interior of the home because finally for the first time I can actually walk and step inside this thing and show you what we're working with. So for a quick tour of the first floor, you're going to walk in, and to the right is going to be where your main staircase is going to be, at least once that's installed. Basement access and of course second floor access eventually in this particular cutout here. And then there is a closet adjacent to that, but on the left here is going to be the main library or flex room space. We purchased this as a library. This is going to be Ariel's office. And then you walk into the main open concept living space for the home, which of course is going to include the kitchen, and you can see the pantry there in the corner, the dining / breakfast area, which has a sliding glass door that's yet to be installed, and the main family room area, you can see with the fireplace bump out there. Now, coming along here, you will then see where the access to the basement would go. So this would be under the staircase once that's installed. And then you walk into this hallway here along the side, and you're going to come to the study area. So this study is actually going to become my office and my main place of work going forward. And then you step back out here, you have a powder room along the right side of the home where the window is. You have a hall closet here, which is a little tough to visualize, but yes, it is here. And then outside of that hall closet, you have access to the garage. So in this case, the 3-car garage that was included with this house. Ryan did sort of an automatic upgrade to include 3 garage bays. So a couple things I'll note here. You'll notice I mentioned the staircase has yet to be installed, and this is going to be also one of the next things to take place on the interior, because it is a staircase that's going to allow really all the additional trades to come in and start the electrical, plumbing, HVAC, etc. work. Also worth noting, if you have a home that has a basement and they've covered over that area, be sure you know where that is and not to step there. Be very careful, of course, when you're on any construction site, even for your own home. It is worth noting that we talked to our PM well in advance. We've been coordinating the time to go out and film this and to take a walkthrough to make sure we're not interrupting any of the trades. Really easy to accidentally step on a nail or get sunk down in a mud pit. Yes, I've been there and done that, so you definitely want to be cautious and extra careful whenever you're navigating around a construction site. Now, of course, some folks might be curious to see what materials Ryan and other residential builders are using nowadays, at least for construction here, say in New Jersey, so I'll include some B-roll of that. You're going to have different grades of lumber that exist, so level 1, level 2, level 3, there's prime grades. Most of these big residential builders are using, let's say, level 2, quite possibly even level 3 when it comes to framing. So yes, you're going to see boards with knots or splits in the wood. It's not going to look particularly pretty, but this should all be functional, and structural engineers behind these builds should all be accounting for this, so I wouldn't nitpick individual frame members too much. The same you could say goes for sheathing. This home is using OSB for sheathing, and yes, you could definitely see a gap here or there, but it is not uncommon to have small gaps of say around 1/8 of an inch between boards just to allow for air or any moisture in terms of expansion and contraction. And it is worth noting that we're planning on getting an independent inspector for at least the pre-drywall stage and before closing or settlement, so any major or minor concerns there, we'll see how they shake out at that point. A couple of other interesting things with the build. I didn't realize Ryan installed a steel structural support beam in the garage over the 2-car bay to support the weight of the second floor, but that's a good thing to see. Something else Ryan or NVR seems to be doing, which is interesting and probably a nod towards automation and helping their trades assembling these walls, is now marking many of these members as to where the stud should go, say if it's 16 inches on center or 24 inches on center, what type of stud it should be, so on and so forth. A couple of interesting things with the kitchen. You'll see the fact that we have blocking along the walls to eventually hold the upper cabinets. That's already in place. Something that Ryan also seems to be doing, which I like, is you'll notice they have essentially a second wall here along the refrigerator wall that bumps it out roughly a good 4 to 6 inches. And so this is what should allow you to get a standard depth refrigerator with your home that won't look ridiculously out of place and stick out way too much. Now again, as I mentioned, the stairs haven't been installed, so at this point I cannot show you the basement or the second floor. That'll come in a later video. But once we do have our stairs in, I think we're going to see a lot more interior work taking place. As I mentioned, no sign of any other trades in the home at this point, although I did notice some of the floor joists had some cutouts already in place for what looks like future ductwork of some kind. And so that's where we are with the end of week 5 and 6 construction. We have something that now looks a lot more like a house, and I think especially within the next week or two, we're going to see a lot more interior and exterior progress take shape. Hopefully this video has been of some help to you. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe if it has. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to leave them in the comments below. For now, that is all I have to say, so thanks for watching.